All right, so we're talking to Brandon Reilly. Hey, our goal with these vendor spotlights is just to get to know all of our Freedom vendors a little bit more. So thank you, Brandon. Awesome for joining me today.
Yeah, appreciate you inviting me over.
Sure, sure. So Brandon, I wanted to kind of hit you with like get you in the hot seat. I wanted to ask you like first of all, just introduce yourself and the company you're with, but I want to know something personal, something that we would just like quirky, different, something that we wouldn't probably know ordinarily if we met you at a business meeting to kind of kick off our conversation. Because I always find it interesting people's backstories or hobbies or different quirky things. So take it away. Let us know anything you're willing to share. That'd be awesome.
Definitely. So my name's Brandon Reilly. I work for Southern Trust Mortgage, who is a local residential mortgage lender here in town. And shoot, things that people don't know about me, that's a tough one. I love sports, and I know that it's kind of bland there, but I'm pretty avid memorabilia collector there. I love collecting
What's
sports
like
cards.
sports cards? Like
Yeah,
what type of
cards, jerseys, posters. I mean, you name it. I'm a Baltimore Ravens fan, a huge Liverpool
ah,
Sox fan. Yet I've got a beautiful Drew Brees jersey hanging in my basement.
yeah, half my family is definitely Baltimore Ravens fans, and then the other half is Steelers fans, which that doesn't
Oh, so
that
you got
doesn't go
the
well. Yeah, yeah.
I can only
Was that like something that like early on as a kid, or you picked it up later, like as an adult?
I always played sports as a kid, but I definitely picked up collecting that kind of stuff later on in life. Um, I kind of laugh about it now just because of how many baseball cards and stuff I collected as a kid, and now they're actually worth something.
Yeah.
So all those times I was
Where
trying
do
to
you
complete.
buy that stuff? Like, I mean, is
Now
there?
it's actually tough. Like for instance, the Panini boxes that sells like baseball and football cards.
Yeah,
A lot of like stores pulled them off the shelves in Target because it just got too aggressive. People were trying to
yeah.
line up out of the stores and try to collect them. I haven't gotten too in depth with that stuff, but I've got a guy that goes out and his job is to basically go to these sports events and get professionals to sell his products. So he'll go to, for instance, like a Baltimore Ravens signing. He was down in Miami for the Super Bowl. Lamar
Nice.
Jackson was there, and he got Lamar to sign a bunch of stuff.
Yeah,
Then
yeah.
he'll come let us know, all of his kind of, I guess, supporters
I
and
asked you, what
clients.
is the most expensive like memorabilia you've purchased? Do you remember what it was, how much you paid?
Um, it would probably be that Drew Brees. I paid a little over 500 for it. He's
Dang.
retired though, so I think it's probably doubled by now,
Yeah, yeah.
which is cool. But I don't know if I'll ever get rid of it. And I go to a lot of, well, I can't say a lot. I try to make it to some farmers markets and flea markets and things like that.
The good
I
stuff.
found a rookie Kobe card somebody sold me in a huge box of cards for like $60, and he didn't know what he had. And I went
Oh,
through
wow.
them all and started finding stuff. And shoot, my girlfriend and I are still working our way through all those cards to figure out what we have.
That's
So it's
super cool.
exciting. It's cool when you're like, you don't really know what you have, and then all of a sudden you find a rookie Trevor Lawrence card or something like
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah. Well,
It's
that's a very cool like hobby, and that's I don't know. That's I always think it's quirky to ask people that question because I would have never guessed that. So cool.
cool.
So hey, I wanted to go back a little bit. Obviously, you've been in the mortgage business and space for a while, but like, what did you do before that? What led you kind of down this path? Because sometimes it's connected in weird, interesting ways. So just share with us a little bit of like what you did pre-mortgage world.
Yeah, so I mean, before this, I went to college at Hampton, Sydney, studied economics, and during that time as well, I was working for a general contractor in the commercial construction industry,
Oh,
which
I
I
didn't know
enjoyed.
that. Yeah.
Yeah, I enjoyed doing that a lot. I started as a laborer when I was in high school, worked my way up, kind of like an assistant carpenter, you could say, and
Yeah.
then eventually I became an assistant projecteer and started learning more of the office stuff instead of just being in the field. But I enjoyed it. I really loved it. Um, but
Do
I
you do stuff around the house still, or you're like, hell no, I'm
oh
not?
no, I've got trouble paying for other people to do it. So
Yeah, yeah.
especially when I mean it taught me so much. I mean I went
Oh
from
yeah,
working from ground zero to having a beautiful new building and doing punch up list items,
yeah,
fixing
yeah.
dishwashers or paint or anything, just small cosmetic stuff as well. So just kind of full circle, and I don't know, I loved it, but I wanted something else. I wanted something more, and studying economics, I learned a lot about the financial world and a lot
Yeah.
of the possibilities and how much it's changing and how much opportunity was in it. So honestly, what led me to this career was just networking and meeting those people that were in the industry and asking them about it. I
Yeah.
didn't really know. Whenever I graduated, I thought maybe I wanted to be a financial advisor or maybe something in the banking world, but wasn't too sure. So instead of really looking for a job, I really just looked for people that could give me that knowledge so I could
Yeah.
figure out what I was even interested in.
Well, the
Um,
cool thing I love about that story is like, because you work with so many realtors, like you see it from now other angles. You see it from the financial piece, you see it from the construction piece, you see it from long-term and short-term investments. Like you see it so many different angles. Not all mortgage people see it from that position, you know? So
Definitely. It also helped me meet a lot of different people, a lot of different walks of life,
yeah,
which really
that's
helped
very
me
cool.
in this industry be able to connect with them. To be like,
Yeah,
man, I've been in your shoes. I know how it is. I know you're waking up at 6 a.m. grinding until 7:30 at night.
yeah,
So I'm gonna call you at 9, whenever you've put your
right.
kid down, or whatever it might be.
Yeah, yeah.
Thing just to show that we're on the same page with both humans.
Yeah, because I think there is sometimes the assumption of what a real estate agent is, or a loan officer is, or a coach is, and I think breaking that barrier down and realize that with our customers, it's a partnership. It's like we've got to really know the real stuff because sometimes I don't think they lie, they just hold it back. They don't tell you everything that's probably important to get them through the
I
transaction
can
most
agree with
effectively.
that. Definitely. I've definitely seen
Mhm. Well, I think to kind of led you down that path, like, have you always worked for this company, or what led you to like say, hey, this is the company I'm going to hang my hat on and and use as a resource for people to buy and sell real estate?
Oh man, so I started at Town Bank Mortgage actually, right out of college, and man, I have to say I was super blessed to find the individuals that I'm still currently working with at Town Bank.
And
Um,
you worked in mortgage right out the gate, like you
Correct.
worked.
Yep.
Okay.
So I started as a junior loan officer, which was
Yep, yep.
basically like a loan officer assistant, but I was capable of originating my own loans as well if I had the clients, which early on I didn't. So
Yeah,
really my
just
focus for
learning.
yeah, exactly. My focus for the first 2 years was strictly learning. The products, the programs, how to structure everything, really the behind the scenes in the computer, out of the computer, and then also learned kind of how to beat the streets as well and learn how to meet people face to face and talk about what we do. Um, but yeah, so whenever I joined Town Bank, I met some great people, Rob Magruder and Trey Cooper,
Oh
especially.
yeah.
And I mean, they just open arms welcomed me in as just such a great like family, like a work family, really. And
Right.
those people are now they've become friends and mentors. We decided to make something a little bit special and bigger, so we decided to pick up shop and move over to Southern Trust Mortgage, and they wanted me to come with them. And there's no way I couldn't say no. I
Yeah,
definitely
yeah.
found my circle and my support group in this industry, and it was definitely a great decision.
That's very cool. Like, so what is, now kind of going into Southern Trust, like, what do you think, like, internally for yourself, selfishly, like, what do you love about, I know you said you love the people, which makes
Mhm.
sense, but is there some of the mechanics? What is the philosophy? Why do you hang your hat there? Like, why you're like, okay, I
Definitely.
transitioned because of honestly loyalty to those people.
Mhm.
Now you've been there for a while. So what is the company like? Why are you still there? Why do you think that company aligns with your business model? Because I think you could work anywhere. There's a lot of bank options. There's a lot of mortgage options out there. So I'm just curious why you feel
Yeah.
like that connects with you.
And Southern Trust Mortgage just equipped me with the right tools to really make a successful mortgage process. And I mean, you hit it on the head. I could go work anywhere, any mortgage company kind of thing.
Yeah,
But I really strongly believe that there's not another one out there, especially locally in Richmond, that's going to provide the support that Southern Trust does internally. A
sure.
lot of times they're like saying, what are they doing for their clients? But it's actually, what are they doing for their mortgage lenders?
Yeah,
And they provide me with 24-hour underwriting through our priority approval system. I get a credit specialist, so if I have a client who's kind of hanging on a fence with
borderline.
the tag,
Yeah,
yeah, borderline credit, we can get Mike to look at that stuff and let us know what they need to do to improve. And he actually goes through the credit bureaus and helps us with that. So it's
yeah,
not just kind of you're put in the dark and good luck. fix your credit.
Yeah.
I've got an income specialist that is just out of this world with self-employed borrowers, helping us figure out how we can use these tax returns and get them qualified. And then I also have a condo specialist that helps us as well. Condos are starting to pop up, especially more and more in Richmond, and not a lot of them are capable of being financed.
Yeah.
And our condo team actually helps those condominiums and their associations go through the process of getting approved for government financing, conventional, whatever it may be. So they really give us the tools so I can really help any kind of scenario that my real estate agents might come across in terms of their client, whether they're first-time home buyers, veterans looking for a second home, an investment property, they're self-employed, whatever it might be. Southern Trust has made a one-stop shop to really handheld everyone and take them along a successful process.
Yeah, that's really cool to hear, because I think, you know, in the mortgage world, like, we only see one person. We see your face on the business card. We see you at networking events, but there's so many nuances built into every transaction. So you have like this, essentially this like freaking football team of people that like you can, you know, pull in the player that you need when circumstance. And I've not heard that in the almost 17 years I've been in this business. It's like, that's a really cool concept. I think that's smart, because, you know, you're super knowledgeable, but you know everything. No. And also, just even if you did know it, just having those extra resources to dig even a little deeper, like you said, with credit score. I think that's something that's definitely unique. And I definitely don't think agents realize that that's a big selling point when you're like, hey, this is a unique house, or this is your unique job that you have, or something like that. Because, you know, I think a lot of people easily would just say, no, you don't qualify, or no, so I thought that's very interesting. Yeah.
I feel like in all too, it kind of gives us the confidence to go out there and sell these products that we have. I mean, if you don't like what you're selling, it's going to be extremely tough to do so.
Yeah.
It makes sense. We've got a lot of great things, and then some great people and support staff to make it happen.
Yeah, absolutely. So I wanted to ask you, like, what maybe a resource or a tip or something, like, our Freedom members, they work with other mortgage people, but we'd love to obviously work with you more consistently and give you opportunity to at least, even be the second guy in, if that's what it is. But what do you think is a tip or resource? Like, if you're like, hey, I was running a real estate business, this is what I would do for my clients. This is a resource or a tip that I would use if I was doing a consultation with a buyer. Like, what do you think? If you're kind of in reverse, what perspective?
If I was a real estate agent, and like you said, kind of a tip there is I would bring my lender on to my buyers' consultations. I think that's something that's missed a lot. And it's really just taking the time to show, one, your client that you're here, you're present, and you're also a team with that real estate agent. And it also allows us to really hit all corners of the process up front. So they really understand, hey, it's important that you go get pre-approved, and then we start looking at houses, and then we get under contract, and so on and so forth. I also think that a lot of times it's smart for realtors to get their clients in front of a lender sooner rather than later. And I don't mean like, hey, a week from now he wants to go look at houses. I'm talking maybe a month, 2 months. If you're looking to buy a house in October, we should be talking now to figure out a game plan and prepare you. I think getting prepared is one of the most important.
Why do you think they wait? Why do you think they wait till a week before? Do you think it's the agent that does that, or do you think it's the consumer does it? You think it's a combination of both?
I think a lot of it's the consumer. And a lot of it's just they're not sure. They don't know. They don't know when they're supposed to go out there. Nobody's really taught how to do this. So they're just kind of going off of what they're Googling, and then maybe the tidbits of information they've listened to.
I totally think you hit that correctly, because it's crazy. You have all this technology and Google and all this, YouTube. I mean, everyone's got a YouTube channel, podcast. Everyone's throwing tons of knowledge at the consumer, yet they still don't know that fundamental piece is, when do I start? And then after that, how do I get the pieces and parts together in alignment to make it the transaction easier? Which is crazy to me, because you think with technology and YouTube and podcasts and all that stuff that there would be some stream of consciousness or some stream of education that would kind of stick. But I think I love that you said that, because it really, what I love about the two tips that you shared, is about getting in a relationship with that person earlier, and building that team. I think agents, well, I hope they can hear that, is like, it's important to, of course, they're building a relationship with their customer, but make sure it's a team effort. It's that tribe mentality. So I love that.
It makes it just a lot smoother of a process, because then our clients and my real estate agents, I want them to be comfortable texting me, calling me, whatever it might be. If they have a random question at 9 o'clock at night, I want them to feel like I'm here for them just as much as they're here for me, kind of thing.
Yeah, that's super cool. So I want you to be selfish for a minute. I want you to think about your family, your goals that you've got kind of on your plate moving forward. Like, how can we be better serving you? How can we give you more opportunities? How can we give back to you? Because I know you do so much for at least us and our group, and of course your clients. Like, what do you think what we could do? What do you think? What is your ask from us?
Yeah, honestly, any kind of introduction to your trusted real estate agent is always greatly appreciated. That helps me a ton. I'm looking for committed and reliable real estate agents to partner with, not your part-times, not, if that's the case, obviously I definitely help, but I'm looking for people who are
people in the grind, doing it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I want to know who you guys trust, like I want to know who my community is using and who they like and why. Because it might be a good fit. We might be able to help each other. So definitely the real estate introductions are huge for me. That helps my business grow, helps me reach more people. And then also anybody that that, family and friends that currently have a mortgage that might be looking to renovate their house or take out some money to pay off some debt, or even maybe take advantage of this great market right now and save some money by refinancing and securing a lower interest rate.
Yeah.
But, I feel like a lot of times just keeping my, name in the back of your head when you hear that aunt and uncle are maybe looking to move, or maybe trying to refinance or take out a personal loan or something like that. I'd love the opportunity just, get in front of them or just build that warm introduction. Hey, you should talk to my mortgage lender, Brandon.
Yeah.
You call and text him. It's super easy. He's not going to push you into a corner to do anything, but, the resource.
That's very cool. I totally agree. And I think that we can definitely partner with you and continue that growth. And I love that we met through a client that I coach and everything, but I love that you align with our business model so much. I think that's a really cool thing that's not always found. There's a lot of real estate agents in town. There's a lot of coaching programs around the United States. There's a lot of lenders, but I think finding your people that have like-minded, like business style is pretty unique. So I appreciate your partnership with that. That's cool.
Back at you. I couldn't agree more. The tribe that you've kind of surrounded yourself with are just amazing people. And like you said, they're like-minded, and
it's huge. It makes it fun too, right? I mean, there's some rough parts of this business. It's not always a straight line. It's got some rocky roads and crazy twists, but it does make it fun and kind of feeds into the passion. I have one last question that I didn't really prep you for is, what is from memorabilia, what's your oh my God, if this was sitting on the shelf or at that yard sale, what do you think? What's you're like, man, I want to find this piece. What would it be? I'm curious.
Oh man, that's tough.
It's got to be oh my God, if I had, I don't know, rookie mantle or I don't know. There's.
Oh man, you're hitting me good on that spot. I mean, honestly, right now, a signed Kobe Bryant jersey would be pretty huge. Just everything that happened the past year, that would be something I'd probably hold on to forever. I'd never sell it. Just everything he's accomplished around the world and in the game of basketball, it's just, I think my jaw is ground.
I'm not a sports guy, but just learning about him, he obviously was an amazing athlete, but human is I mean, top-notch dude all the way around.
International too, not just the United States.
And crazy, I feel like he was confident but humble, cocky, but realized he was blessed. It was such an interesting, very unique human. So I think that hell yeah, let's go find that. That may be more than $500. I'm not sure about price points. I'm not sure how. I'm not sure how that works on that memorabilia price point, but I'm guessing that your budget may have to go up a little bit.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
So we need to get you some more refis and some mortgages so you can buy that guilt-free.
Exactly. Exactly.
That's awesome. Well, thanks for your time
Yeah,
and
thank you.
appreciate the opportunity.